Today I have for you 8 books that will be extremely helpful and insightful on your design journey. Whether you're looking for inspiration or design tips, color theory tips, or just want a cool book for your nightstand or your coffee table, this is the video for you. We are also at home today. We are not in the Kittl office. This is actually my home office. So welcome into my home. This feels super personal at this point. Starting off, we have The Designer's Dictionary of Color by Sean Adams. This book is just super practical and insightful. It's basically all about color theory, the ways that different colors interact with each other. And one of the coolest things about this book is that with each hue, each different colors or sets of colors, it shows you a lot of different examples using those colors in the book. Whether it's art prints, posters, furniture, or even photography. Not only will it break down the colors in existing art pieces, but it'll actually give you a lot of color theory and recommendations for color palettes as well, with the corresponding hex codes and CMYK numbers. There's actually even a whole section on monotone grayscale designs, and you'd think like a book about color, that's kind of weird, but it's one of my favorite sections. And at the end of the day, even if you don't care about color theory, it's just a dope looking book and would look really, really cool in your home or on your desk or on your coffee table or in your bookcase. I also especially like just how vibrant the colors on the front of this book are. Definitely a conversation starter if you have people over. Number 2, and this is actually a book that kind of kickstarted my design book obsession, is Posuta Poster. Now, before anything about this book at all, let's just talk about the packaging of this book. Just the sheer detail of how this book binding and cover, and then how all of the pages have different text on the side of the book is just absolutely insane to me. Even the back is just super minimal and modern, and I just love it. It's just great. Now, what this book actually is, and it'll tell you right here, is contemporary poster designs from Japan. So flipping through this book, you'll find different artists highlighted as well as a selection of their work. And it actually covers a wide range of styles. I mean, there's some minimal stuff in here, some grungy stuff, some monotone and abstract stuff. Even photography is involved. I especially like also this artist that makes their poster designs just from squares, like checkered patterns. Just absolutely insane. So if you're someone looking for some pretty rad inspiration and or a sick decoration piece that is super colorful, highly recommended this book. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10, actually. I'd probably say that. I mean, it's just so good. It just makes me upset. Now, branching out of the graphic design realm for a second, we have Design of the 20th Century. Now, I've talked frequently, infrequently on this channel about my love for mid-century modern design, whether that's in graphic design or architecture or furniture like chairs. I love a good chair. This book is just absolutely chock full of mid-century design. And I actually kind of lied. There is a lot of graphic design in here as well. So it is not just a book full of photography and furniture, although I would love that. I mean, there's even pages highlighting different clothes, accessories, handbags. There's even pages highlighting fonts and typography, logos, everyday objects, and decorations. Some of the abstract architecture in this book is pretty wild. I actually did take the cover off of this book. I think it's at the office, but the original sleeve of the book is this nice blue, which I'll show a picture of here. I just removed it because I wanted the clean white because we're using it as a kind of a coffee table book here at home. And a conversation starter. You like the 20th century and you want to learn more about it, or you just want to buy something right now, pick this up. Highly recommend. So if I were doing the whole saving the best for last thing, which I'm not doing in this video because I think it's kind of cliche, I would do this book because I think I'm just an unhealthy amount of obsessed with this book. Actually, this book is the book that sits on my nightstand because it's just amazing. This book is Sans in Use, a collection of sans serif typefaces. And just by the back of this book, I knew that I was gonna like it. It's just this minimal, clean type layout. And then the spine of the book as well has got this nice kind of typewriter font, I guess, but it's got even like the ISBN on here and like the millimeters of the proportions of the book. It just takes like all this information and just puts it in a nice clean typography layout, and it's just fascinating. Now we're going to do a little experiment because this book you could literally just open up to a random page and be like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So we're just going to try it. Yeah, just sick. Essentially what this book is like it says, a collection of typefaces, and then goes through the entire typeface and then shows different applications of that font. It's got big type, clean type, bold type, small type, digital type, pixel fonts. I mean, it's just absolutely insane, while also, might I add, just being a very, very beautiful, neutrally designed book. Its more vibrant counterpart, which I have not picked up yet, but I am planning on, is Serif in Use, which I'll show here. It's essentially the same thing, but for a collection of sans serif fonts. And it's pretty neat that it's just A, B. Maybe they'll do a C. Maybe there already is a C. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but this book is freaking sick. And if I was saving the best for last, which I wasn't because I said it's a little cliche, I would do this one. Our next book, which might come close to going head to head with the previous one, is A Book on Books. Pretty meta, I know. This book is about books and wonderfully designed, beautifully designed books. One thing that caught my attention right off the bat, which is pretty much why I bought this, is that the majority of the pages are black, which you just don't really see that often. Even the barcode on the back of the book looks like books. They've got the little CMYK print code here, and they've really just gone like all in on the book designing mantra. There's old books, new books, contemporary books, experimental books, books you've never even heard of. This book is actually in this book. And if you open up the actual sleeve, it is a collection of bookstores that they've recommended in different countries in cities. The binding of the book is this wonderful, thick, black paper as well, and it's like they just got the world's best book designers in a room and then just was like, here you go. So shout out Victionary. This thing is sick. So if you like book design, you like graphic design, you're just looking to pick up something cool, or you want a neat gift for a graphic designer or that friend that likes books, get them A Book on Books, and it'll tell you more books to buy. So not only will you buy this, you'll probably end up getting more things as well, because this book will tell you what to get. So this next one is for my friends that like weird, wonky things, and this book is called How to Live with Objects. Aside from this book being like massive and beautifully designed, it's essentially just a collection of objects. Wonderfully sculpted, crafted, trinkets, interesting design, things that are weird, things that are experimental. It is essentially the answer to the question of like, pick up a random object. What is the most unique and experimental way that I could make this thing look? This book answers that question. When I bought this, I didn't actually look inside of it at all. I just bought it purely for the cover because I bought it online and I thought that it looked dope, and it ended up being a great purchase. This actually reminds me of a video that Duda did over on her personal channel about why we need trinkets. Those little objects that are just very unique to you, they are nostalgic, they have a story of some sort. They may not serve a purpose, but you hold on to them and you need them, you want them. You love them. If you're that kind of person, this book is for you. Okay, last on the list, a little less designy and a lot more practical, is How to Steal Like an Artist. I've had this book for years. Actually, it was given to me by my first graphic design mentor when I was essentially starting to ask the question of like, what is stealing? What is referencing? How much of a different design can I kind of take bits and pieces of and iterate? All the answers to all of those is in this book. And it's typically kind of how Drew and I answer questions on the channel when we get comments about, you know, what is theft, what is not theft, what is referencing, what is iterating. We both have read this book, and it majorly influences the way that we tackle design. One of my favorite things about this book is that it's just small. It's small and short, it's insightful and concise. It's not a big honking thing with words that go over your head. It's very simple and super digestible, and it is not very expensive. So if you ever find yourself working on creative projects, you're a little stuck, maybe you're feeling discontent in your design journey, just picking up this book and giving it a read through always helps me out. I pretty much find something different in it every single time, which is probably why it's a New York Times bestseller. Also, one of the most important things about this book is that it's not limited to graphic design. It is creativity across the board, regardless of what you do. From photography to blogging to making YouTube videos to graphic design to sculpting, painting, literally any type of creativity, this book applies to you. I really think that anybody creative should read this book at some point. Some people think it's overrated. I think it is exactly rated. Well, that has been 8 books on design and creativity that I think that you should pick up or at least look into. These have definitely heavily influenced my personal design and creativity journey, and a lot of them still serve as cool decorations in our house here at our home. That is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.